Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another episode here on Jets Media. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jack, Ali, and myself. We're going to get into a lot surrounding the New York Jets, and the big question mark and the big topic all around the NFL right now is the Jets. What are they going to do at the quarterback position? All over the place. You tune into ESPN, Get Up, NFL Network. Everybody is asking the same question. Will the Jets draft a QB and Sam Darnold? So that's going to be the main topic of today's stream. We're going to give all of our thoughts. We're going to hear your guys' thoughts in the live chat, and we're going to open this up to a Jets Q&A eventually as well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in, and shout out to everybody in the chat. I missed you guys. I appreciate all the happy birthday wishes from me and Jack. We appreciate that a ton. I also hit 6,000 subscribers, a big milestone. So everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys a ton. So we'll start off with Jack. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, bro. I'm excited to get into it. We have an interesting debate coming up for sure. So yeah, let's go.
Yes, sir. How about you, Ali? What's up, bro?
I'm good, dude. Just recovered fully from the second vaccine all weekend, and that's what I was recovering from. So now I'm finally, yep, I got hit hard, pretty bad. So, I'm recovering now. Now I can go back to talking Jets.
Glad to see you back in action. And, I'm not wearing my Jets attire today because it's officially opening day for the Mets. About damn time, because they got the whole opening series got postponed because of COVID. I was excited to watch them on my birthday, Jacob deGrom on the mound, and they cancel it. So I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Yankees fans in here, but I got to rep my Mets in today's stream. Any Mets fans in this stream, I will be live on my Mets YouTube channel at 5 o'clock to give you guys a pregame show to get hyped up for the Mets opening day tonight. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So as you guys know, the big topic around the NFL and the New York Jets is a report from Rich Cimini. He talked to Josh McCown, who is a former Jets quarterback and a very close friend of Sam Darnold. They were teammates. According to Josh McCown, he says that Sam Darnold will be open to the Jets drafting a quarterback and keeping him on the team. So that's a really interesting conversation. So what's going to happen? Say hypothetically that's what they do. Obviously this is all speculation. Josh McCown is not running the Jets. That just means Sam Darnold's open to the idea. So hypothetically, let's just put our mindsets in the situation. It's after the draft. We drafted, say, Zach Wilson, and we have Sam Darnold on the team still, and we did not trade him. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? There's a lot of ways you can look at this. I think there's a lot of valid points for each side. So, Jack, I'm going to start with you. What's your initial thoughts on the Jets keeping Sam Darnold and drafting a quarterback?
I think that would be a very typical Jets move. I don't really see it panning out for either of the quarterbacks if that's the case. I think it does crappy things for the locker room and for the organization as a whole by bringing in another guy and you don't know who's going to be the starting guy in day one. It's different bringing in a veteran backup or something like that. But, you're talking about drafting a quarterback at pick 2 and then hanging on to a quarterback you drafted at pick 3 years ago. So I just don't think that bodes well for the organization at all or for the locker room. I personally think it would be a stupid move. If you're looking to get a quarterback, then you do everything you can to move Sam Darnold somewhere else because, let's say Sam Darnold was to, worst case scenario would be bringing in a quarterback and getting nothing for Sam Darnold because let's say Sam Darnold was to potentially lose the starting job to whichever rookie we brought in, that would totally tank his value. I think he'd be, relinquished to being a backup quarterback at that point. So I just don't think it's a smart move at all for the organization to do. But we'll see. You can't really rule it out, man, because we don't know what Sam's value is at the moment at all. A lot of us expected him to be traded already. We still have a long time till the draft, but it's crazy, man. There's all the possibilities are still on the table for sure.
I agree, man. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do, whether they trade Sam or not, but time is ticking because the draft is coming up. Ali, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? And do you think it would be the smart move to draft a quarterback and keep Sam?
That would not be smart. I know Jack said pretty much everything I was gonna say, but yeah, it would just be stupid. It would just be a stupid, typical Jets type move. What they should do is pretty much don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. Take your guy and keep him. That's it, and get rid of the other guy. That's what you should do. And if it's drafting a quarterback, which is looking like it's gonna be a new quarterback in there, just trade Sam Darnold, find a value because having Sam Darnold as your backup quarterback, that's his price tag for a backup quarterback is gonna be huge. Everyone needs to understand he has to get paid next year, and you're paying a lot for Sam Darnold to be a backup quarterback for the New York Jets, and that's just bizarre. I don't think Joe Douglas is going to do something like that, especially a guy who's been trying to save money. And the way he's been handling all this stuff. I mean, like, there's no, like, I can't think of a scenario where I think this is a positive for the Jets drafting a quarterback and keeping Sam Darnold. It would just be idiotic. And it's just not a really good move for the New York team. It's not like Sam Darnold is a veteran that's been successful in the league. He's not like a Josh McCown who said this himself. I mean, it's Sam Darnold who's still a young quarterback and still can develop somewhere else and be a starting quarterback somewhere else. So, I mean, just trade him. If we do keep him after the draft, I mean, I could see them trading them before training camp if a quarterback goes down for another team. I could see that scenario panning out. But I do believe in day 2, he'll be gone for the New York Jets the latest. But it would be a really awful move for the Jets to keep both.
I agree with all your points. Eric, I appreciate the $5 donation. Very generous of you. Again, thank you so much. Everybody give Eric some dono hype in the chat. Thank you so much, Eric. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this whole situation, and I might play a little devil's advocate, maybe channel my inner Damian Woody, give you guys a little perspective of the other side of the coin of why this could be a positive thing to do. But I'll tell you guys first, I don't think they should do this. I think it would be not this best interest for Sam Darnold and the Jets because first I'll give you guys with why I agree with Jack and Ali. And the reason why I agree is because I don't think it's a good thing for the locker room. It's either if you believe in Sam Darnold as the future, then what you should do is you trade down and you build around Sam. If you don't think Sam Darnold's the future and you have a question mark, then you draft Zach Wilson or Justin Fields and you give him the keys to the kingdom. He's the future. You got to make sure he is the guy. If you keep both of them in the building, it might not work. So now let's flip it around. Why could this work? I've seen a lot of arguments all over the place. Say the Jets draft Zach Wilson and they keep Sam Darnold on the roster. Maybe the reason is Joe Douglas is fielding calls and he does not see Sam Darnold's value at all. Nobody wants to give up anything. Nobody's interested in Sam Darnold at the moment. So what if they keep Sam and they have Zach Wilson? And apparently Josh McCown says Sam Darnold is open to the idea of having it. And that's the most important thing because I feel like if Sam was not okay with it and it would be a little division in the locker room and it would not be good, then obviously that wouldn't work. The dynamic would not be great in the locker room. But say Sam, as a professional that he is, as a 23-year-old, he says, okay, they drafted my potential replacement and they're giving me an opportunity to show what I got. So Sam Darnold's a starter week 1 with Zach Wilson as the backup. Sam Darnold has an opportunity to show what he's worth, maybe boost his trade value even more. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder and say he plays out of his mind. And then at the end of the year, we have a rookie quarterback behind Sam Darnold who did not get any playing time because, I'm not comparing it to Patrick Mahomes and the Alex Smith situation. It's very different. But Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, and then year 2, they moved on from Smith, and then Patrick Mahomes came in and was the starter in year 2 when he won MVP. But I'm not saying that's going to happen, but hypothetically, I'm just putting my mind over there. So if that's the case, Sam has a lot of proving to do. He's on the field as the starter. He knows Zach Wilson's behind him and he could potentially be the new future. Sam is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. And what Joe Douglas is going to want to do is, boost Sam's trade value. So say at the end of the year, now teams want to give up first-round picks for Sam. But that's going to give the front office a really hard decision to make. If Sam's playing that well in this new system and the new weapons around him and the new coaching staff, do we want to move on from him if he's playing that well and we risk it with our young guy that we just drafted? Or do we, keep Sam and then maybe we trade Zach Wilson? That's why I feel like it wouldn't really work. But if I put my mindset in that situation, I could see it potentially work, and that's maybe why Joe Douglas wants to do it, because he wants to boost Sam's trade value even more. So say in the future, we're not getting anything more than a second round pick, if that, for Sam right now. And maybe Joe Douglas says, you know what, Sam Darnold is worth more than a second round pick. I guarantee if I let him play and I draft my quarterback and I let him play throughout the season, he's going to boost his trade value, and then I'm going to trade him and flip him for a first rounder, and we eventually get a first rounder, and we get our Zach Wilson to be the future. So it's a really complicated situation. I'm not advocating that they do that. I don't think it would be the smartest move in the world, but I'm trying to put my mind in the brain of, if that is the situation, what kind of positives are they looking at? Like, why do they think it would work out? And I feel like that's really where I'm at and what I can think. So Jack, what do you think would be the reason for them to keep Sam and draft a quarterback? And before we do that, we got a donation from DJ Sin 6. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Exactly. Wilson might not be ready game one. Coming from a 1-year hype train versus 2019, I'd rather have 2 assets versus 1. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Say the Jets don't have the utmost confidence, because listen, if we draft Zach Wilson, it's not guaranteed he's the future. They need to evaluate. They're going to have a competition. He's going to have to prove it. He only had one great year in college. His 2019 tape was nothing too special because he was battling an injury. So letting Zach Wilson sit behind Sam for a year and understand the system a little more could be beneficial for him in the future. V-Man says, no, don't draft the QB and keep Sam. Do one or the other. If you have to spend time developing a quarterback while fixing another, that's less time to work with the offense. I agree, V-Man, again. I really think it's, I'm just trying to put my mind on both sides of the situation and trying to get a good grasp. But I appreciate the donations, V-Man and DJ Sin. Definitely means a lot. So, Jack, what do you have to say else that I said try to put your mind in the situation of how it could be? Like, what are the positives of keeping Sam and drafting a quarterback, if there's any in your mind?
I think, there's not too many. I really think it's a terrible idea, but I do like the idea of, a competition to see who's going to win that starting job. Because then it could kind of give us a little bit more insight into what we have out of that kid that we just drafted. If he's competing with another starting caliber quarterback for the job in camp, that would be very interesting. I can't think of too many positives in that scenario, man. I understand what Mel Kiper said on ESPN this morning with what they did in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. But we're not the Green Bay Packers, man. We're the New York Jets. So it's a crazy decision that Joe Douglas is gonna have to make. I personally think that it would just not work having both on the team. I really don't.
Eric with a donation. Thank you so much, Eric. Appreciate it. Would you guys be shocked if the Jets go Sewell and 49ers really trade up to grab Wilson, knowing Jets grab Sewell? I don't think Penei Sewell will be a New York Jet. I would be very shocked because we have our left tackle, the future Mekhi Becton. Say we did not have Mekhi Becton, then I would be on board. I don't think Mekhi would want to move to the right side. I don't think Sewell wants to move to the right side. So I don't think that they're going to do that. If Sewell was a right tackle and he's okay with moving to the right side and the Jets are completely sold on Sam, then I can see it happening. But I would be extremely shocked if this was the situation. Would you agree, Lee?
Would you guys be shocked? Yeah. Jets are not going Sewell. That's just a no-brainer at this point. Obviously, we already have our offensive tackle and a left tackle and Mekhi Becton. And if you're going to draft a tackle like him that early, you're not going to ask him to change the position. You draft him at number 2, and you're going to ask him to change the position of what he usually plays. That's just not going to happen. He's not going to take that well. And obviously, we do need to get that offensive line going. We all know that. But this draft is filled with linemen that could come in and be like sturdy. You can solidify your offensive lineman with other guys too. Obviously, Sewell is like the big time guy. I think he'll be great in the league. But Jets already have Mekhi Becton. I don't know. People need to understand that it would be a stupid pick if we went out for Sewell, especially if he doesn't want to. We don't know if he wants to change positions. We don't know if if he's going to be willing to do that at all, if he wants to go right tackle, or if he wants and go anywhere else on the line. We don't know that. So to risk that, Mekhi Becton, our fan favorite player, to get upset, that would just be another Jamal Adams situation, another like this, where we're making the player upset again and being the competition that is unnecessary at the moment. So I would just keep that away from us and just get a quarterback or just trade down.
Yeah, I mean, I really think the only way the Jets grab Sewell is if in the draft process they ask him, say, hey, would you be open to play right tackle for us? And if he says, yeah, I'll play right tackle, then that's the only way he's getting drafted. Because I'm pretty sure Sewell's is known to be a left tackle and he's against moving to the right side. So that is the reason why I just don't think he's going to be a Jet at all. So I agree with you, Ali, there. But yeah, I mean, this whole topic with the Jets drafting a quarterback and keeping Sam, that's going to be something that leads up all the way until the draft. Because, listen, if the Jets can't find a trade partner for Sam Darnold, what do? And they want to draft a quarterback. Ali, what do they do if the Jets are calling people, they're trying to move Sam, and no one's interested, but they want to draft Zach Wilson or Justin Fields? What do they do?
Okay, if they draft Zach Wilson and they keep Sam Darnold in training camp, and Zach Wilson beats out Sam Darnold, and they want to get rid of Sam Darnold, who's going to trade for him after a rookie beat him out? You have no market at that point. I mean, that's what you got to understand. Then you're just going to have to release him and get nothing out of it. Just trade him. You know, you can get maybe, even if it's a 4th rounder, 5th rounder pick on day 2, just trade him. Just get rid of him if you don't want him starting for your football team. If you're going to try to just start a competition or whatever it is in training camp, that's not going to work. I'd rather him go with like Josh McCown coming in and being quarterback, or somewhere from San Francisco, one of those quarterbacks to come in and compete with him. Not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold needs a fresh start. People need to let that happen and let Sam Darnold start new, because that's what he needs. I mean, that's what I believe he needs, and that's what I like. He needs to get out of New York. And I know like the locker room stuff that people are talking about, like I did. A lot of people are just like, oh, there's going to be a lot of controversy, and there is going to be, but everyone thinks Sam Darnold is so polite. You know, he's not going to do this. We just don't know that. His agent can make noise. His family members can make noise, and that affects the locker room. So just trade him, whatever offer. I think the Jets are going to have offers for him, especially maybe the Panthers. I think Panthers are desperate for a quarterback right now. And, you know, the Denver possibly. And those 2 guys possibly have like the assets to get it to him. And even if it's a 3rd round pick, just get it done. Just get it done.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. That is what leading up until the draft. But if you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. We got around 23 likes with just under 100 people joining in. So make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to Jets Media and Ali and Jack. Their channels are down below in the description. Appreciate all the support. Also, guys, we came out with a brand new video over on Touchdown Kingdom. It was our latest NFL mock draft, 1st round. I think the thumbnail gives away who we have at number 2. This is the first one after all the trades. So the 49ers pick and the Dolphins and the Eagles. So everything's all different. This is brand new. That is linked down below in the description over on Touchdown Kingdom. So if you guys are interested in checking out that video, make sure you do so. I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, so, you know, I don't know what else topic we should get into, because obviously the biggest topic in, you know, surrounding the New York Jets is the Sam Darnold and the quarterback position. It's just really mind-boggling, because nobody knows. And I'm so sick of this hypothetical stuff. Should they do this? Should they do that? I don't know. But man, so let's get into a different conversation about the New York Jets draft. So Jack, who do you want the Jets to target in the later 1st round? Like what position, what guy do you have your eye on? You know, we all want Elijah Vera Tucker, but it looks like he's not going to fall to 23, even though we had him in the mock draft. We're just trying to manifest that. But who do you really want at 23? And your mic's muted, Jack.
Thank you. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that you take the best player available at corner or interior lineman, whichever one that ends up being. I'd be happy with best player available, corner or interior lineman. Obviously, Vera Tucker is still my guy that I really want, but it's looking like he may get drafted way before the 23rd pick. So I think we're still in the market for a cornerback. Without a doubt. Obviously, it's still probably our weakest position besides the guard position. So I would be happy with either the best cornerback still on the board or the best guard still on the board, whoever that may be.
Yeah, I'm looking at Greg Newsome. I feel like he's somebody that I really want at 23. I like this cornerback class. I feel like the top 4 guys, they have a lot of potential, and I feel like Greg Newsome really fits the Robert Saleh mold the best. Will he be there at 23? I don't know. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on the cornerback position for the Jets? Like, out of the players that are on the roster with Bryce Hall, Bless Austin, Javelin Guidry, Lamar Jackson, all the guys that are on the roster, we have a very young core, and we did not sign anybody in free agency at the cornerback spot. So going into the draft, how confident are you with this young core that we have? Even though it's obvious that this is our weakest position, especially on defense, but what do you expect from the young guys like Bryce Hall and Bless Austin? Do you think they're going to have a role this year?
Yeah, I do. I think especially Bryce Hall, I think he'll be in the mix of them. Bless Austin, we'll see, but I think all of these guys might improve if they're on the field because obviously the Jets have pass rush now. The Jets have a defensive line that gets to the quarterback now. That's what we have, and that's what Salah's going to do, and that makes a cornerback play much better when there's pressure on the quarterback, and that's just a fact. And the Jets haven't had any pressure for a long, long time on the quarterback, and the cornerback Bryce Hall, I think, could be the guy that steps up. I don't know about Bless Austin. I'm still pretty high on Bless Austin, but as not much as other people are because I think he did regress a little bit. He needs to show a little bit more aggression, and I think the Jets, if Greg Newsome is available at 23, you take him. I really do think that, and I do think J.C. Horn is going to be gone very early. I think his mock is up like top 15 now. And then AVT, we'll see what happens with him. But I think he fits, Newsome fits the 4-3 defensive scheme really well. His versatile, his athleticism, his everything. And I watched a lot of film on him, and he's nuts. He could fit really well. He seems like a Robert Saleh guy, like Richie said. And I do think if you get Newsome and then maybe like a 4th round cornerback in, I think the Jets have a solid defense in general, and the secondary has solidified themselves because first of all, it's going to be open competition. Open competition in training camp opens a lot of grit out of these players, and that's what the best comes out in training camp. And these guys are going to be fighting for their spots in training camp, and that's what the Jets need. They need competition at spots that are wide open right now. So I think bringing Newsome in, I think he would be a starting cornerback right away. Having Bryce Hall over there, I think that's a really good learning curve for him. But yeah, I think the Jets are on a great track with the cornerback position. If they get Newsome, they got a good secondary now.
Yeah. So Jack, what were your thoughts on the cornerback position? Say we draft Farley hypothetically, or Newsome, or Certain, which I don't think he'll fall, or Horn. Say we get a corner at 23. Are you confident in having a rookie next to a sophomore and Bryce Hall as their starting cornerbacks?
I think you kind of have to be, man. If we're going to go out and grab a cornerback in the first round of this draft, then you got to be confident with him being a starter for sure. Because, any first round player that you draft, you're going to want to see out there starting games. So I think we kind of have no other choice. I think Bryce Hall, I'm confident in Bryce Hall as a starter. I think he showed us some good things last year, and I think he's got a lot of potential. Bless Austin is somebody who I still think is kind of like a bit of a project. He's a very solid tackler, and he's not afraid to lay the wood on people, which I love. But at the end of the day, that's not a cornerback's responsibility. We need guys that are going to be locking down out there. So I think Bless Austin still needs to kind of find his way a little bit, but I'm certainly confident in Bryce Hall, and you got to have confidence in whoever we take in the first round. So I think that we got Marcus May locked up. I'm eager to see how LaMarcus Joyner is going to be used in this defense as well. So I think, if we grab a cornerback in the first round, I think we'll have scrapped together a decent little secondary.
Yeah, because that secondary is all we're missing for this Jets defense. I really think so. Maybe you can see the argument that middle linebacker core, because CJ Mosley is a huge question mark, and Jared Davis we signed and we see upside, but it's another question mark. I think that we're cornerbacks away from having a scary defense. And I love that. I think that the vision for the defense, for the cornerback in particular, is to stay young and get that young core, because we have Bryce Hall, who, remember, was a first to second round talent. He was arguably the best cornerback in all of college football, and then he broke his foot. And that's why he fell to the 5th round. If Bryce Hall finished that year in Virginia, he would have went in the 1st or 2nd round, probably a late 1st round pick, early 2nd round pick. And we were able to get him in the 5th because teams did not want to draft a project that has injury concerns. And we had to bite the bullet. We had to let Bryce Hall sit for the whole first half of the season because he was still battling with that injury. But he came back and showed a lot to me. That one-hand interception he had, the ability to play lockdown man-to-man coverage. I really think Bryce Hall, we found a gem. And that you got to give Joe Douglas credit. Hopefully we can see a lot out of him. And I'm excited to see what Ashton Davis can do. Ashton Davis is going to be the guy behind Marcus May and LaMarcus Joyner. He's going to come in different packages. I think he's going to play in the slot. I think he's going to play the free safety position. He's going to come in at the box safety position. He's very versatile. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time with Robert Saleh. So this secondary is extremely young, and I'm excited to see what they can do. So what other positions should we talk about? Obviously the corner position. Let's talk about the offensive line, right? Because that's the other position we really need to focus on. We only had one new addition to the Jets offensive line, and that's Jack's new cover picture on Twitter. Dan Feeney, the mullet, the mustache, he's a stud. So what do you think the vision is for this offensive line, Ali? Because right now, the Jets offensive line on paper is the same exact starting 5 as last year. We got Mekhi Becton at left tackle, Alex Lewis at left guard, Connor McGovern at center, Greg Van Roten at right guard, and George Fant at right tackle. So do you expect them to make any moves via trade, via free agency still, or get into the draft and get a starter? Or do you think these 5 guys will be the starter week 1?
I have a feeling that Douglas trusts these guys right now who are on this roster right now. Obviously, I do think they are going to find linemen in the draft. I think they're going to trade a couple times to get draft picks to draft these linemen. Obviously, I can't think of many on top of my head, but Wyatt Davis in the 2nd round, I think he could fall quite nicely to the Jets. And I do think the Jets obviously are going to have to work on the offensive line, but I think Joe Douglas likes how he's developed this offensive line as a whole. I do think that, and it's just pretty much he's going to bring in rookies in. They're going to compete in training camp. That's all we can hope for. Obviously, we didn't get like any top all-pro linemen this year, but that's okay. I think that what he's trying to do is trying to build the safe route, the cheap route, and that's how you do it in the draft. So I think he's going to try to find maybe 2 or 3 linemen in this draft. I really do believe that, because I think they're going to trade down multiple times and get draft picks, and with those picks get linemen or corner or whatever edge, and develop this line, get some depth in that room, and fight for a position. I think Mekhi is obviously locked up. The center position is pretty much locked up. So all the other positions are like up in the air a little bit. I guess George Fant is good too, but those can be replaceable. So I think it's gonna be open competition, and they're definitely gonna sign a 1 or 2 linemen.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think the offensive line approach is very interesting. I do have a feeling that in Joe Douglas's mind, last year he signed McGovern, Fant, and he got Alex Lewis in waivers, and he got Greg Van Roten. And these guys, in his mind, I feel like are short-term band-aids for the long-term future. I think he really wants to build this offensive line through the draft. He took 2 offensive linemen last year. Obviously, we did not see Cameron Clark at all. He redshirted his rookie season, but he had a home run with Mekhi Becton. I'm expecting him to go really heavy in the offensive line in the draft again. And whether they start or not, whether it's Wyatt Davis, is it AVT, is it Jenkins, is it all these guys that are going to be available in the draft, I feel like he's going to go all in. I'm expecting him to draft at minimum 2 offensive linemen, and those 2 in his mind are going to be the future. And he wants them to develop behind the veteran of George Fant, behind the veteran leadership of Connor McGovern. And then they're going to take over the role in the future. And then we'll have, I'm thinking way ahead, 3 years from now, we're going to have a whole offensive lineman of Joe Douglas draft picks. That's what I really think. I think we're going to have Mekhi Becton on the left side, and then we'll see what Cameron Clark turns into. Maybe he is the long-term backup answer for Mekhi because he was a left tackle. But he can definitely – he's versatile. He can play right tackle. He can even play left guard if he really wanted to. But I really think Joe Douglas's long-term vision is to build the offensive line and the cornerback position through the draft and just let the young guys develop. And that's my perspective on the whole offensive line approach. So, Jack, what do you think Joe Douglas's vision when it comes to building this offensive line for the short term and the long term?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that for the short term, I'm not super confident in our current interior offensive line at all. Maybe McGovern the most out of the 3, but I definitely don't see anything special out of Greg Van Roten or out of Alex Lewis. Ideally, in my head, we trade back pick number 2 and we address the offensive line this year in the draft. I mean, if we did that, we would have an opportunity to maybe go out and grab 2 nasty interior offensive linemen. And I think that would be beautiful in my head, but I know that's a very controversial topic for to get into right now, talking about the O-line. But I'm just not very confident in the current guys that we have playing in both guard spots. So I would be very, very surprised if Joe Douglas didn't address that one of those spots early in the draft. If not with the 23rd pick, then maybe with the 34th pick, or definitely somewhere in the second, 3rd round, the latest. I'd say we're going to be grabbing an interior offensive lineman. But I totally agree with you, Rich. Obviously, this is something we regurgitate all the time. But it's true that Joe Douglas makes it very clear that his long-term goal for this team is to build it through the draft, to build a competitive roster through the draft. So I totally agree with your take that, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, we'll have a starting 5 on that front line. That's all Joe Douglas draft picks. I personally would like, because we're in a beautiful spot right now, I personally would like to see, maybe 1 or 2 of those guys come in this draft. I think that the talent is stacked for the offensive line as a whole. There's a lot of great tackles coming out, but you got guys like Wyatt Davis, you got guys like Creed Humphrey, who's an interesting player. He's more of a center, but he can move around. And you got a bunch of talented young guys on that interior of the offensive line that are coming out of school this year. So I would love if Joe Douglas could go out there and get 2 people. I wish we could, give more of an opinion on Cameron Clark, but we've literally seen nothing from the guy. So, we're not really sure what we have there. Maybe like, Rich, like you said, maybe he ends up being that kind of moving chess piece that kind of, plays where he needs to, when he needs to. But we'll see. Maybe this is all part of Joe Douglas's plan. Maybe he wants to see Cameron Clark get a starting role this year, something like that. All I know is that Joe Douglas is not a dumb person, and the offensive line was not tackled in free agency. I mean, Dan Feeney's not going to come fix this offensive line. So Joe Douglas definitely has a plan for this offensive line. We just haven't seen it come to fruition yet, but I really think that we're going to go offensive line heavy in this draft. And I would be all here for it, man. I would be hyped if we grabbed 2 nasty guards.
Let's do it. I'm all in. We got a donation from John. Kicker in the 6th round. I predicted this. I've said this over and over again, all over my streams. I think last year the Jets went out there and got Braden Mann, the punter of the future, in the 6th round. I think this year the Jets will draft a kicker in the 6th or 7th round. I have not done my research on the kickers yet, but expect Joe Douglas to trade down, acquire an extra 6th or an extra 7th, and then draft a kicker, because right now we don't have a damn kicker. I think that's the value of a 6th and 7th round pick is you can get starters on special teams because Braden Mann was a 6th round pick and he's our starting punter now. He's a fan favorite just because sadly enough last year he was our best tackler when it comes to that punt position. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting to get a rookie kicker. What are your thoughts, Ali? Do you think the Jets should draft a kicker late in the draft?
Why not? I'm more of a fullback type guy. I want to get a fullback in maybe the 7th round. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, go get a kicker. I mean, it worked out with the punter that we just got. So, I mean, go ahead and get a kicker because the Jets, I don't want to see another kicker controversy. I mean, that's the last thing I should be worrying about.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want to see whatever guy was scrubs coming out of like the practice squads and coming kicking for us. I just want an actual kicker from college who's successful and just come kick with us. So I think he definitely is going to think about that. Obviously, because when we got the punter, we were all confused too. We were just like, this early he got a punter, but he was probably one of our star players last year. That's kind of sad, but he was a star player and he was Joe Douglas's pick. So that's also saying a lot. So, I mean, yeah, I think he knows that that's a need for the Jets. And I think he will assess it either undrafted free agents or like right at the end of the draft.
Yeah, I think that he wants to get his hands on this team and build for the future and getting if he can hit on a kicker and we can get our next franchise kicker for the next 5 to 7 years in the draft in the 7th round, that's a home run. I mean, it feels like ever since we got rid of Nick Folk or even Jason Myers, rather, because he had a Pro Bowl season with us, ever since we let him walk in free agency, we've had a kicker problem. And kickers is a very underrated part of football. Mm-hmm. And we, as Jets fans, know this, especially with the longer extra points now, you need to be able to hit those consistently and you need to be able to be in crunch time. And if you cannot hit a 40-plus yard field goal, consistently, it's a problem. So what do you think, Jack? Do you think we should target a kicker late in the draft?
Absolutely, man. I mean, just going on things both of you guys just said, kicker has obviously been a struggle for us since the departure of Jason Myers. And you can't undervalue the importance of special teams in the National Football League. I mean, so many games come down to the wire and are decided by, one score or even 3 points. So, you got to have all the help you can get, especially if you're the New York Jets. And I'm just tired of, picking up scrubs that no other team wants to be our kicker. Like I'm done with that. Let's draft. I think about, I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills had a rookie kicker out there this past year.
Yeah.
And, he had a solid year, man. And they went to the AFC Championship and, not every game they played was a blowout. So you can't undervalue the importance of special teams. And I think that Joe Douglas knows that. We saw that with the I forget his name, Hardy, right? The guy that we brought in from New Orleans, the special teams guy,
Justin Hardy.
So we know that special teams is on the brain, and I think we went Braden Mann last year, so now we'll go kicker this year. And who knows, man? These players last for a while. So what if we draft a kicker that'll be here for the next 15, 20 freaking years? We don't know. So if we could lock that up, and it'll just make us a more competitive football team with a good kicker, man. That's just what it comes down to. Having kicking struggles and not being confident in the guy that's going to kick for you is nowheresville. So I think that it's definitely an important issue to tackle. And yeah, we could certainly, trade back or just use our 7th round pick for a kicker. I would be very down.
Yeah. I'd rather take the best kicker available in the 6th or 7th round than wait for the undrafted free agency and then get like one that didn't go drafted. Like we got the best punter in the draft last year, Braden Mann. Let's get the best kicker in the draft this year. I should do my homework on the kickers. John with the donation. You think Pretty Boy Wilson could take an NFL hit? I don't know, man. What do you think, John? It seems like you're not sold on Zach Wilson. What do you think, Ali?
John stays. I give him credit. I give him a lot of credit for staying consistent on this channel and pretty much promoting his Sam Darnold love. And shout out to John. I like the shout out to that, man. You're not a popular opinion but bro, every quarterback gets used to it, man. Every quarterback. If you're gonna play in the NFL, you're gonna have to get used to it. But obviously, he's gonna have some rough patches, like a lot of quarterbacks do. But we'll see how he goes. But keep that Sam Darnold grind going, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so. If Wilson better be able to take a hit.
Well, I'm not worried about the hits as much. I'm just worried about, like, he hasn't really dealt with much pressure in his face at all throughout his college career. So I think, anybody who's been playing football for their whole life can take a hit. Granted, everybody in the NFL is a physical monster, so it's a little different. But I'm just more worried with Wilson about the pressures. But we don't have to get into that right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's question marks with every single quarterback, even Lawrence.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if Zach Wilson goes number 1 to Jacksonville and we get Trevor Lawrence?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that?
No, I don't want to imagine that because it's not happening.
Imagine what?
The Jacksonville Jaguars taking Zach Wilson and then we get Trevor Lawrence.
Can you imagine
If
that?
they
If
do
you're
that, they're an idiot.
Can you imagine that
Not
if you're like one of the 25 Jaguars fans out there, and you have your eyes set on Trevor Lawrence and they just draft Zach Wilson? It's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not happening. We know, guys. You don't need to let us know. If you guys are enjoying today's stream, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to all of our channels, Jets Media, Loyal NY Jet Fans, and Jack McGalley Music. That is all down below in the description. Make sure you hit those subscribe buttons. Appreciate that. And if you guys subscribe to all of our channels, let us know in the live chat. We'll give you guys a shout out because we appreciate all the love. Absolutely. So what should we talk about next, regarding the draft? So we went over the corners and the interior offensive line because those are the two biggest question marks.
Should we get into the QB debate, the Wilson versus Fields debate?
Man, I'm down to forget about that until the draft, but that's impossible. Oh man, it's so crazy, guys. This quarterback debate's gonna drive me insane. It's gonna drive me insane.
Shout out to Elias in the chat telling me that the thing I put on Instagram yesterday was fire. Good looks, Elias.
Yeah. Everyone go check out Jack McGalley Music on Instagram for his killer Easter solo. Neil says you should make a Jets channel, Jack.
Maybe I will. I don't know. I love what I'm doing with Jets Media way too much, I think, though, for that.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna leave me for your own?
Nah, never. But Neil, you should go check out Touchdown Kingdom because that's like me and Richie's collaborative.
Yeah,
effort.
for those that don't know, I know you guys all know about Touchdown Kingdom by now, but Jack writes the scripts for the videos, and then I edit them and do the voiceovers and stuff. So that's technically Jack's channel as well. So
show some love.
Go help us out on Touchdown Kingdom. We're actually coming out with a brand new series. We already started out the first episode. The first episode is already on the channel, which is this right here, top 5 QBs. So now we're going into every single position group in the draft. We're going to do top 5 edge rushers, top 5 receivers, top 5 corners. You guys get the idea. Top 5 every single position group in the draft, and that's going to come out all leading up to the draft. So that's going to be all Jack and I. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go check those out and show us some love on Touchdown Kingdom because we put a lot of work into there, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And also, I know that not everybody in the chat are Jets fans, so NFL fans.
Man. Yeah.
We got Baby Wardy in the. What's good, bro? This is from Wardy's channel. Shout out to Wardy. He's on his way to the Mets game right now. That's my guy. Great Mets YouTuber, but it's not Wardy. It's shout out to you, Baby Wardy. I saw you in the stream earlier. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, we'll open this up to a Jets Q&A before we finish off the stream because I'm going live on my Mets channel at 5 to get hyped up for the Mets.
Let's
Even
go,
though
baby.
we got Yankees fans in here saying, bro, you're a Mets fan. Imagine being a Mets fan. Dude, Mets suck. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know the Mets suck. But yeah, any questions in the chat, let us know regarding the Jets or regarding Star Wars. We're open for any type of questions.
Star Wars. Oh my lord.
I'm wearing Star Wars boxers right now. I'd show you guys, but I think YouTube might shut us down.
Why don't you show them the t-shirt you're wearing? It's fire.
Oh yeah. Check it out, guys. Wait, let me get it in the frame here. Check it out. Jets Media. I can show you guys the
Go in the back.
kind of real quick. Can you see it, or do you just see my butt?
You see your butt. You can now see the Star Wars underwear.
You can see the Star Wars underwear. Yeah, I can't. I don't know what's going on, but you guys can. You guys get the idea. This
Yeah.
logo's on the back, but much bigger.
If you're interested in those shirts, the link to the Jets Media shops down below in the description. Those t-shirts are $15, and then the Corrupted Closet version, which is the bleach tie-dye version, that's on there as well. So jetsmedia.shop, that's down below in the description if anybody is interested. Why is Jack twerking, bro? Yeah, he's twerking over there.
Listen, guys, I just got a nice butt. What can I say? I wanted to bless the feed for a minute there.
You show us that, Star Wars boxers any way you could. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, guys. So let's see. This is a question from a Patriots fan. I got a question. I'm a Pats fan. Do you realistically see the Jaguars trading down for King's ransom, or do you see the Jets trading up their 2 first-round picks and their second-round up? I think the Jaguars are sold with Trevor Lawrence. I think Urban Meyer is getting his guy. He's not trading down at all, in my opinion. And I don't think, the Jets will see what they do. I think it's still an opportunity for them to trade down. But if I had to guess, put money on it, they're going to stay at 2. Excuse me, and draft the quarterback.
Yeah, didn't Urban Meyer say he's very interested in Trevor Lawrence, something like that? I've never heard that before in my life, where somebody basically goes out and says yeah, this is who we're taking.
I don't think Urban Meyer would have took the job.
Because it's not a surprise, right? It's not.
It's not. But there's still a long time to the draft, man. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm Jacksonville's GM, I'm at least flirting with the idea, not flirting with the idea, but making people think I'm flirting with the idea that anything's on the table. Because if you get a crazy offer coming in, I don't know.
Bro, they probably started. They were for sure tanking all season, so they're ready for it.
I'm so I don't want to ever go through that again, man. That was so stressful. The last 5 games, just looking at the Jaguars score and the Jets score. I'm rooting for the Jets to lose, but I'm not rooting for the Jets to lose because I can never root for them to lose. And they're about to win a game, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, that was just terrible.
I remember
never let that happen again.
I actually screamed when the Raiders scored that last time. I screamed in excitement. I just didn't know how to feel.
Oh, that was terrible.
I didn't know what to feel, and I was so just funny. What is going on? What is this life?
For anybody that was live for the my stream, Jack and I were live during that game. The reaction was priceless. Jack was and I was I didn't know what to feel. It was so crazy. Oh, man. What's up, Jamal? How was your birthday? Let's go, Jets. You think Justin Fields will be drafted if Zach is taken? What's up, Jamal? Appreciate all the support, brother. My birthday was awesome. Me and Jack, we chilled. Jack's birthday was the day after mine, so we had a great 23rd birthday. And, yeah, it was dope. Appreciate the love, Jamal, as always. And do I think Justin Fields will be drafted if Zach is taken? We have the second pick, so I don't think Fields is going first. So I think my guess is Zach Wilson will be the pick. But you never know. They could really be blown away from Justin Fields, that's for sure. Let's see. Baby Wardy, bro, you have 6 channels. Yes, I do have 6 channels. Some people think I am out of my mind, and I think I am out of my mind as well. So for those that don't know, I have 6 YouTube channels. Don't know how, but if you're interested, just click on my Jets Media channel. They're all linked there if you're interested to see all of them. But let's see. Anything in the chat you guys want to answer?
Let's see.
Oh, man.
Somebody asked, do you think people are overrating Russo? I guess you meaning Gregory Russo. And I actually wrote a script about that this morning for the top 5 edge rusher script that we're going to be dropping on Touchdown Kingdom. I think that maybe a little bit because his sample size is not very big in terms of his time playing in college. And he also kind of struggles as a true edge rusher. He was far more productive going against interior offensive linemen rather than out on the edge. But that being said, I still think that he's definitely a first-round talent, early second-round talent, and I think he's going to be a good player for sure. But there's a lot of incredible edge rushers coming out of this draft. So make sure you guys are subbed to Touchdown Kingdom so you can watch that video when it comes out.
By the time the draft comes around and we're watching the draft live, Jack is going to know all these prospects more than anybody in the world after doing all these research in the script writing. That's dope. We got a good question from John. This is a really good question. More excited for Saleh's defense or LaFleur's offense?
Oof. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Offense.
You know, it's
ask me that after we find out who the quarterback is going to be on April 29th.
You know,
because right now it's Saleh's defense.
Yeah, Saleh's defense because of the defensive line, but then again, it could be LaFleur's offense just because we experienced the most inept, historically bad offense forever. So it feels so refreshing just to see a non-handoff up the middle on 2nd and 10. You know, it's going to be like, wow, I can't believe it, guys. We made it through. We made it through the terrible. I don't want to get into that past nightmare, but I don't know, man. I really think Saleh's defense, because of the defensive line that we have in place, it gets me so excited. Like the sack exchange could be back.
Yeah, it could. And just like you said, man, I mean, shout out to Frank Gore, Hall of Famer, legend. But I'm so excited to not see him as a New York Jet next year. So excited. So excited.
Yeah, you know, again, shout out to Frank Gore, nothing but love. But, man, you really had the usage you had on this team is to pad your stats for the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
100%.
Like an individual thing. Like, all right, I got to prove that I'm great and I want to get closer to my,
Him and Gase must have had something worked out. Gase knew he was gone. Frank knew it was his last year.
He signed him in like June.
He was like, yeah, Frank knew it was his last year. Gase knew he was out of there by like week 4. So, you know, maybe Frank just, Venmo'd him a few grand after every game to get 20 carries.
Like P. Ryan should have got way more carries, but we're not getting into that. Let's see. Any questions you guys want? Make sure you guys let us know in the chat. Lord Supreme, what's good, bro? I know that you got a Jets Media merch. I appreciate that, bro. What up, Jets gang? Leaving for work, listening to you guys as always. And as always, I smashed that thumbs up button. Thank you, Lord Supreme. You are the man. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate that. As always, make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you guys did not already. Let's do it. So, we're approaching an hour. We're going to go live every single Monday, all the way leading up to the forever. At least I hope.
Forever.
But we'll definitely be going live throughout the week. I'm going to try to balance my schedules because now that the Mets season's kicking off, or, maybe not kicking off. What's the word? Pitching off. But now that baseball's starting and basketball's still going, like those games happen every day. And I still got to make sure I'm keeping up with my Jets content. But there's going to be a lot of stuff more on Touchdown Kingdom leading up to the draft, more than Jets Media. I'm more going to do, Jack and I actually thought about making a Zach Wilson versus Justin Fields video.
Oh, boy. Get ready for that one, because I'm writing that script. Get ready for that.
I'm actually making a video for that for my channel too.
Oh man,
all the Wilson guys, get ready.
Oh my lord,
because Jack's writing that one.
I'm like satisfied in a way where I'm like, if it's Fields or Wilson, I don't care. Like I'm at the point where I'm just like, I like both prospect the same amount. Like I like Fields' talent and Zach Wilson's talent. Just good coaching, make them a good quarterback. Go do that. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about those two. I think they both have talent. They both have a good arm strength. They both know how to get out of pocket and throw on the run. I mean, they both can do pretty much everything. And I think they could pretty much like fit this scheme. Obviously, Zach Wilson fits the scheme better, but I think Justin Fields could fit the scheme even better. Like he could be, and I think both of these guys are like perfect. So like I'm not really on the Fields Wilson train. I'm just pretty much saying, I don't care which quarterback it is. I don't have any favorites.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I really am like going back and forth. Like, all right, is it Wilson? Is it Fields? One day I'm like, yo, Fields has to be the pick. And then I'm like, wait, Wilson though? It's like, God, this is tough. But my gut tells me it's going to be Wilson anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be Wilson. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty much Wilson.
Let me give my very short spiel right here. Very short. I'll keep it short. First, let me tell you why I like Zach Wilson and why I wouldn't be mad if we drafted him. Because I think that's fair. I think that he is not the best, but the most natural or loose, however you want to put it. I think he's the most natural thrower of the football in this draft based on stuff that I've seen. I think that he's deadly accurate. I think that he can certainly get the job done in the scheme that we're going to be implementing, and I think that he would be a good fit for the scheme. Now, when you're talking Justin Fields, I think that he can do all of the things that Zach Wilson does, and he did it for longer, and he did it against better competition, and he did it under more pressure. So I think that, and you know, let's not forget that Justin Fields can absolutely launch the football, first of all. And
he just traded Sam Darnold.
What?
The Panthers just traded for Sam Darnold.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
What? Whoa, breaking news. Wait, whoa. That's way bigger than.
No way.
Oh my God.
There you go, John.
There it goes. Sam is gone. Oh my God.
What?
Wow.
The man is gone.
Whoa, breaking news. That's insane.
A 2021 6th round and 2nd and 4th round picks next year.
I'm fine with that.
3 picks for Sam. I'll take it.
Wow.
That's a good trade.
And now, you guys, what I've been saying all along.
Wait, who broke that rap sheet?
Is I will stick to my words. I've said it all along.
Whoa.
I will support whoever the quarterback is.
Oh, my Lord.
Whoever the quarterback is, I will support. Wow, man, that's a mind fuck. Sorry for saying that, but wow.
You're good.
Holy crap.
Of this year, a 2nd and a 4th. Sam Darnold is reunited with Robbie Anderson.
I knew that was definitely going to be the
Damn,
I
yo.
knew he was going to Carolina, bro.
It's Justin Fields season, baby.
Whoa. All right. Well, I gotta change the thumbnail. I gotta change this entire stream. Guys, what the hell just happened?
Wow.
What the hell? Do I end the stream and then go live again? Like what?
Wow.
We just traded Sam Darnold. It's official, guys. Jack, what are we doing with our Sam Darnold signed footballs? We're holding on to it. Carolina. Whoa.
I mean, Sam's going to a much better team than the Jets. So good for him, man.
I really like Joe Brady a lot. I really do.
Wow.
That is the most breaking news we can get. All right, guys, that does it for the quarterback trading down, and it's all over.
Wow.
It is officially done. Sam Darnold's time in New York is over.
So now it's officially Wilson versus Fields season, and only Wilson versus Fields season. That's
and
tough,
like
man.
everything we talked about earlier on in this stream means nothing. So don't even like. I kind of want to make a brand new. Are we ending the stream and go live right now? Like again?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
I'm pumped now. Let's go.
Yeah, guys, seriously, let's go.
Guys,
we'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'm ending the stream. We'll be right back. Stay tuned in literally 5 minutes.
Stay tuned, guys. We need you all back here.
We're going live again. We're going live again.
This is going to get nuts. Oh, man.